What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Creators Come. My name is Kev. I do these video breakdowns of some of your favorite creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy at least one of these videos and learn from it. I appreciate all the support I've been getting on Instagram, on TikTok, and the newsletter. Slow growth, but it's the best growth. Building a community out here of creators who want to do a little bit better with their videos. So I appreciate it. Today, we're going to break down Audrey Ember, and the video we're going to break down is for those who are failing at chasing their dreams or their dream.
3 years ago, I was editing a video at a cafe when this old man walked by and said, "You like making movies?" "Videos, yeah." He took a seat and talked to me for a while about how when he was younger, he moved out of his hometown to pursue his dream of being a writer. He said,
17 seconds in, a couple things I do want to talk about. This intro part, starting with this low angle of the top of the door, it's a little bit different.
3 years ago,
You know, you have a little bit of text here, but I just want to point this out because I feel like if people were to shoot this themselves, what they would do is probably shoot them walking in, shooting the outside, getting a wide shot. So changing it up a bit, taking a look at an angle like this is a nice change.
I was editing a video at a cafe when this old man walked by and said, "You like making..."
So this is interesting to me because I feel like you always want to shoot not facing the window. So the lighting here is great. Like, you know, even though it's pretty
Movies.
exposed back here, like this back area, I feel like getting the best light is when you're shooting with your back turned to the window because you get that natural light. But there's something about seeing this and seeing everything in the background that gives it a nice change.
Videos, yeah.
It's cool that they're actually pretty well lit too. Like there's this yellow tint. It almost looks like there's a soft light off to the side, but I'm not too sure if that's the house lights or if she actually set up a light. This is great though.
Younger, he moved out of his hometown to pursue his dream of being a writer. He said, "You can't
And that too is really cool. Having this overhead shot.
just younger."
I think there's
He
two,
moved
yeah, overhead shot of this and then
out of his hometown
getting an animation in, but it's also being keyframed in where it's moving. So it adds that dimension to it.
to pursue his dream of being a writer. He said, "You can't just sit around and wait for your dreams to happen. You have to get out there and make them happen. And not all of us who try get so lucky."
That part was really cool. The text, like just disappearing. I feel like it would have been cool if she made the text disappear on all the words that she was saying. So I think at the end here, there's still a couple words that were still up. But in terms of like pacing, because it comes in as she says it,
Your
right?
dreams to happen. You have to get out there and make them happen. And not all of us who try get so lucky.
Right? Get so lucky. I think if you took a couple words and doubled them up and then made them disappear at the same time, just so it ends perfectly here, would have a better feeling, you know, just kind of fits in.
It seems like everyone wants to be a creator these days, but the reality is 9 out of 10 of us will never make it. But I was 21, and if there was any time to try,
I like how she used text here of what feels like articles because you could see that it's kind of faded, but she also uses this other effect here. It's almost like a screen, like or a dodge on this to make it stand out. That's why it has that red. I think could be wrong, but it does add a nice touch. And her putting it at the top here looks nice, just because it's framed well with the brick or the building.
to LA. To me, it was a place where I'd always imagined I'd go to build my career in the creator industry. So I packed up my stuff and left for California to chase my dream.
First, we got to talk about this shot. Absolutely love it. It just feels so different. I think it's because it just stands out in terms of light. You're like, you're not even questioning where she is, but I love how it's backlit. So she has a light in the back here. You could tell that it's lit behind her, but she also uses fog machine, which gives you that texture. And then you could really actually see the light. I feel like it wouldn't be as prominent if the fog or the smoke wasn't there. So, and then you could see it looks like there's like a light somewhere, maybe behind the camera, just a soft light lighting her as well.
I packed up my stuff and left for California to chase my dream.
So this shot was nice too because
Stuff and left for California.
there's like two movements there. There's a movement of the scrolling down, but also putting the laptop screen down as well. So it's just little things like that that it might not make a big difference, but I think in terms of just movement, it looks good to me at least. I don't know if you guys, if at any point during these breakdowns you guys think otherwise, I would love to hear it. So comment down below. These are just really my opinions. So
And left for California to chase my dream.
beautiful. Chasing my dreams and having this shot because this feels open and free is crazy. And then if you listen to the music, how she comes in or how she edits it in where the vocals come in at this part, beautiful. I love this. It's like right into these, feel like I don't even know what to call them, like lifestyle shots, just very shaky footage, zooming in and things like that. It just feels very, very real and not so produced. That makes sense.
I moved to LA 3 years ago, and I actually moved into this apartment right there with 3 of my friends. It was a 2-bedroom. We literally barely had enough room for like a desk in between our 2 beds, but I loved it.
I love how she talks about, the apartment and then shows this footage just as B-roll, laying it over, just filling in the story.
The first time that I was around other people who were also pursuing something creative. This is my second apartment. I've been living here for like a year and a half now. The first year I was still freelancing, and then this past.
I love this shot. It's a wide shot and it's across the street. And the reason why I love shots like this is because there's just so much action going on. So you saw this van just come through here. She's smaller and it's different. Like there's a lot of effort that goes into it, setting up the camera. If she's by herself, it's like, I'm gonna set up my camera across the street and just trust that it's not gonna get jacked. But even still, having someone there, maybe helping her record, you gotta check audio levels. You gotta see if everything is good, where she's standing, people walking. So I love shots like this just because it shows a little bit more effort. And the audio is crisp.
It's the first year that they're doing this. It's gonna be interesting.
Like, I kind of joke that my job is like YouTube 101. I feel like every day that I'm at work.
So I love this shot. I don't know what camera she's using or things like that. I just know that the lens is wide enough, or the focal length is wide enough, because you're getting a lot of like this in and this, which is nice. Just adds some dimension to the shot, having things in the foreground.
Pointless spiral that I really try to not go down, but sometimes I do. Like right now, I should probably keep moving. I filmed the video here once. I made tons of videos here and here.
I love the shots, like I said before, the wide shots. So I like the shot because it's really, really wide, but I feel like what she should have done is she talks about how she shot there. Maybe showing old footage of like what videos are there. Maybe that might look good. I think it all depends too. One, if you have the footage, if you can even tell that this is a location. I think it would only look good if you could tell like this is where it was shot, having wide shots.
I filmed the video here once. I made tons of videos here.
And even tons of videos here. Maybe like showing some of the videos that were done there.
And here. I remember there was like a huge flock of birds flying around up here, and I got some kind of weird B-roll of them.
So stuff like that. She talks about it and then she shows us. So I thought that was really cool. So I feel like maybe the other spots could have shown that.
Creating simply because I want to, Like, I honestly don't know what I'd make if it was just for me anymore.
So I love that, her saying she doesn't know what he would make if she was creating for herself anymore.
Like, I honestly don't know what I'd make if it was just for me anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't know what she would make if it was just for her. And the music, I think her music choice is so dope. And just the way she uses it to really build things up. And then that little cliff right to black.
When you're pursuing something creative, like, it can be extremely isolating. Living here, working in this industry have been goals of mine for so long. And I'm just a little concerned because I genuinely don't feel...
So the word isolating stood out to me.
When you're pursuing something creative, like, it can be extremely isolating.
And then the actions, right? Coming into this dark room and just the look of on her
Like,
face.
it can be extremely isolating.
That moment, that pause of like, fuck, is so good. And like I talked about it before, like when you make these vlogs or short films or whatever you want to call it, but you are the main character, there does have to be, it doesn't have to be, but a lot of the times I find that the ones that I get attached to the most, especially like these people, is the ones where it does feel like, you know, they're acting or there's a bit of, I don't know, improv, feelings and emotions with like facial expressions, body language. And I think that's so important, especially when you get into like filmmaking and directing people, whether you do music videos or you shoot weddings. There's so much that has to do with that stuff. So it's cool to see a little bit of that in here.
And I'm just a little concerned because I genuinely don't feel excited for next year anymore.
Ooh, the lighting here is nice. Yeah, this looks so soft. But what I realize is there's a lot of static shots on tripods throughout this whole thing. But for some reason, it hits a lot harder here just because of the tone and the mood of this part. It just feels so, I don't know, lonely. And I think that also plays a part when you like are thinking about shots and like, okay, are you moving things? When she was talking about stuff before, yeah, I was on a tripod, but it was a little bit more lively. She had like these zoom ins, and then having the B-roll of it just felt like she was just documenting. So it was handheld, felt different. Oh, so like here, a lot of these are actually so cool because it just feels like so real, so happy, handheld.
Part one. Part one.
I love it. It actually like fits so well. A lot of these handheld shots and just like a glimpse into her life.
Rivers run dry, dust spreads in the air.
Today's October 1st, so it's officially the first day of my last month in California. And
that music is like it's so well done. It was like what, one line, one lyric. There's like this screeching that comes in. I don't know what sound that is. If y'all know what sound that is, let me know in the comments. But it sounds like a siren. But then
rivers run dry, dust spreads in the air.
Today's October 1st.
That one line, and then no more vocals.
The first day of my last.
And then she has her talking here. So the meshing of that, beautiful.
Today's October 1st, so it's officially the first day of my last month in California. And I feel like it's starting to hit me that I'm leaving. It's scary though. I'm taking a big risk right now.
So, quick note, there's like this lighting change that happens, right? Okay, before I actually get into it, you guys definitely have to go, like I say all the time, you guys have to go watch the creator's video first or after. You guys always have to watch it because the storytelling, I don't do it enough justice because I'm really just talking about the technicals, but you guys got to watch their stuff because they're all great storytellers. You guys have to watch their videos before this or after this. At some point, watch it. But on technical note, so here, I talk about lighting and it's like natural light always looks great. It's like nice and soft. The only issue is like when you shoot stuff, you have to remember that the light changes so often. The sun is beaming when there's clouds, when people walk by the window, like things change. And you could tell here. So from this shot to the next shot, look how dark this top is after. Okay, so it's like nice, pretty lit, pretty well lit. This next shot here, look at the back here. And like she looks warmer here, and then this is a little cooler. And it looks like what happened is the sun was maybe a little bit lower, and it's like, I don't know, 11. And then at noon the sun is going up, or maybe this is like sundown, but the sun goes up and then like you can't see the back anymore. So there's a lot of different things when you think about shooting with natural light. It's always so tough, but if you time it right, it could work. But it's like limited, you know? Think about that when you guys actually shoot. And if you guys are shooting a set shot, if you're doing talking head and doing stuff like this, it's okay. But just wanted to mention that because I really noticed it.
Get to where I am. You know, it's kind of always been a dream of mine since I was a kid to do this. And now I can say that I've done it.
The music, phenomenal.
Since I was a kid to do this.
He says,
and now I can say that I've done it.
now I can say that I've done it. Boom. Oh. And then let's just talk about this. I love this shot. At first I was like, why do I like it so much, right? Why does this feel different? And I think it's because the camera looks like it's on the middle on the console or lower. Like it looks like it's where the floor is or right on the console, the middle console. But also because it's like backlit here and it's super dark inside. So like that's like the main focus. Like you're just looking at this. So it just looks really good. I feel like a lot of people would shoot up higher and like it'll be more lit on the inside of the car. I just feel like it was such an interesting shot.
Rigid lions dressed in suits, we don't get there.
Oh, the music.
Burn the contract, at a time.
And mixed with all this footage. Oh, so good.
Bye. Bye, bitch. Oh my god.
It's a little bittersweet to be leaving this job because I really liked it.
Okay, I don't know if that was intentional. That was really cool. I like how they got two angles. You can see your friend capturing this angle and then her leaving. But what I liked is, you see how she like closed the door? She left the idea of leaving and then using a shot like this where I know it's not the same door, not the same time, but there's something that connects those two. Comes outside,
It's a little bittersweet to be leaving this job because I
sits down. There's something like, I feel like so smooth about that, about doing that and doing her talking head here.
really liked it. In many ways, this job was basically the closest I could have possibly gotten to doing YouTube full time without doing it myself.
Like today I moved out. Like I packed up my car, my dad's been helping me and like it's done. Like I gave my keys to Samantha. Like I have moved out. We leave tomorrow morning for Canada and like I'm excited to be able to pursue making things again from kind of a
So-
clean slate.
I love how she introed this talking head sequence with her just kind of going to sit down, but you didn't even hear anything yet, right?
Like today I moved out. Like I packed up my car, my dad's been helping
So
me.
you
and,
hear
like,
her not saying anything. That was just a shot. And then she comes back in with it here where she's kind of talking. So breaking up footage like that, setting it up like that. I don't know. It's nice. It's a nice change. And I think what majority of people do when you're just thinking like linear is like, I'm going to sit down and talk. So she could have just started talking here and then showed all the B-roll. But she did something different where boom, setting up, and then you hear her talk. She's not even talking here and then comes back to this shot, which is something that I like. It's different.
kind of a clean slate with all of the knowledge and experience that I've gained over the past 3 years. Every time I move, it's always the same shit. It's like a place is just a place, you know? Like you can chase your dreams anywhere, especially with the internet.
Ugh.
It's pretty cool.
A place is just a place. And then she uses generative fill to fill out this room.
The place.
Jeez.
You know? Like you
I love
can
that.
chase your dreams.
So if you guys have ever seen it or are wondering how to do this, I know how to do it through Adobe products. So Adobe Photoshop does it really well. Essentially, you grab a still frame of this part. I guess it would be the empty section. And then you essentially crop that out. And then you ask the AI tool, generative fill, to fill this out and give you different options. And it looks amazing. Every time I've used it, I've gotten some pretty good results, but it does take a lot of practice and prompts, very specific prompts to really get what you want. but it is getting better. So that's really cool. If you guys want to see what this looks like or an actual tutorial, search up generative fill Photoshop and I'm sure it'll come up. I've also been getting a lot of people asking me to do some tutorials, but this channel is mainly just breakdowns. If you guys actually want to see some tutorials of maybe stuff like generative fill or just how to shoot some stuff, comment down below and let me know. And I might think about doing some videos like that, changing it up. If not, then I ain't doing it. So
is a good thing. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It doesn't mean
beautiful shot.
you're
The
not
colors.
serious about what you're doing. Taking time to focus on other parts of life, I think it's actually a lot healthier and it's a better a way.
So just as a note, see how this feels like it's a little overexposed. If you're using your phone or your camera, if you are exposing for, let's say her, she's like tapped on her or you're exposing for her, this back part is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little overexposed. But if you expose for this, the colors would probably look more like this. The only issue is when you're in it as well, she would probably look like a silhouette. So if you want to get colors, or if you're trying to get the colors on your camera, your phone, when you're shooting, you know, sunsets, sunrise, and you're like, how come it's like so overexposed? Try exposing for the actual clouds or the sun in the background and then seeing that. You'll get a lot of silhouettes, which you'll see here.
It's a way better.
Actually, this is pretty good. But yeah, I feel like if you expose for the clouds and stuff, you always have to play around with whatever subject you're shooting in front. So play around with that.
Solution than just go, go, go.
I love this.
But at the same
This
time,
wide
I wanna
shot's
be where I am if I
amazing.
had
The colors, everything. I feel like maybe if she like sat here, because she's like in this, might be framed a little better. But
I was it.
overall, that was a great shot. I feel like this shot or this screen grab would be great for the thumbnail. Just talking about dreams, just because the colors are crazy. If you guys like that, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, and don't forget, follow me on Instagram and TikTok and the newsletter. All right, see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.